Okay, so we're going to start section 14.2, which is law of cosines. We talked about law of sines in the previous section. Now we're going to use this other law, and we have this because depending upon the information we have in the triangle, we might have to use one or the other equal. Okay, so how do I know when I'm going to use law of cosines? When you are given this information, side, 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 or side, angle, side, you have to use law of cosines. Law of sines would not work. I'm going to go ahead and label this triangle. This is A, B, and C. So side C is opposite angle C, side A is opposite angle A, and side B is opposite angle B. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up a formula. And you need to make sure that you remember this formula. And let me go ahead and shrink this down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put it in red. So for example, let's say I wanted to solve for side A. So if I was solving I would use law of cosines in this format. A squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2 times a times b times cosine of angle A. So this is if I was solving for side A. So here's what I kind of do to remember this formula. This looks like Pythagorean theorem. And Pythagorean theorem is how we can kind of come up with this formula. We're not going to go through that. And then I think to myself, and I made a error in the actual equation. So go back real quick in your notes, and this should be B times C. Okay, so make sure you make that change. So hopefully you notice this change right here. Okay, and so now what I also remember is these two guys are the same letters for the side lengths here. And then I remember, okay, this guy, it's attached cosine because it's law of cosines, and whatever side I'm solving for, that's the angle that I'm going to use. So what I'd like for you to try and do is I'd like for you to try and write the formula out for side B and side C and make sure it compares to what I'm going to put on the actual video so you can check your answer. Okay, so you can see here at the very bottom of the screen you have the formula for side B, so it's whatever side we're solving for squared, the other two sides squared and added together, so this looks like Pythagorean theorem, minus 2 times whatever these two guys are, and cosine of the angle that we're finding, and then here's side C also. So just confirm that that's correct, and that's the formula that we use for law of cosines. And we know it's law of cosines because we got side, 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 or side, angle, side. If you can remember this, it's going to make life a little bit easier because it's quicker. You can just hop right to the formula that you need. Here's our first example. We're going to find a side, and I'm just going to draw the triangle. I'm going to thicken this a little bit because I think yeah, it comes out a little bit better. Given triangle PQR. Okay, so I'm going to call this P, Q, and R. Q is 46, R is 72, and P is 126 degrees. I look at the information that's given me, and I have side, angle, side. So that tells me I need to use the law of cosines. Okay, so I want to find side P. So that's what I'm solving for. Okay, so let's set up the formula. P squared is equal to Q squared plus R squared minus 2 times Q times R times cosine of angle P. I'm going to plug my information in. P is equal to Q squared, so Q is 46. We're going to square it. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this a little bit because I know I'm going to run out of room on the right-hand side. Plus r squared, which is 72, minus 2 times q times r, doesn't matter the order because it's multiplication on this side, times cosine of 126 degrees. So what you have to be careful with is order of operations. This right here is all multiplication, okay? So because this is all multiplication, I can go ahead and do one of two things. I can either do this first and take it away from this piece right here. I can technically put this whole string into my calculator the way it is, and that'll work for you. And then one of the minor things that I forgot is this square. So what I'd like for you to do is go ahead, put it on your calculator, and double check that when you get p squared, you should get 11,193.5. Then I got to take the square root, and p is equal to approximately 106, rounding to the nearest integer. And that's how we can use law of cosines to find a side.